spikes. Ooh, yep. Dude, I'm getting some pretty big readings over here.
I recently read some folklore involving the Serpent Mound in Ohio. An old legend of a stone obelisk that once sat inside the mound itself. People had seen what was left of the stone near the site, but could be possibly passing over a significant piece of ancient history. The official explanation denies any obelisk ever having been part of the site. But curiosity got the best of me, and I had to see the oddly shaped stone for myself. I also brought along an EMF detector to detect any energetic or electromagnetic anomalies, which the mound itself didn't yield any anomalies. A few spikes here and there. But after a walk around the serpentine structure, I was reminded of the reverence that mankind has had for this creature. The snake, embodying wisdom, cunning, and has been this archetypal gatekeeper of secret knowledge. I actually made a video a while back about ancient serpent gods. I'll link that here. But some other thoughts that occurred to me is that we know so little about the builders of this mound. It seems almost foolish to take official history at face value. But that's just my conspiratorial mind at work, I think. But one other interesting bit about the mound's shape is that the mouth of the snake is opening its jaws, while it carries, or some say it's even eating, an egg-like oval, like the cosmic egg. I have another recent video about this cosmic egg esoteric symbolism, so click that here if you're interested. But it was just beyond the snake's head and the egg where I was told I could find this supposed obelisk. There's a hiking path winding down through the drop-off below that exposes a cliff face where it's allegedly thrown, or thrown from.
The cliff face, it's hard to see, it's up there, but everything down here is a meteorite impact site from a few million years ago. So that could also be what's charged or caused anomalies in the constitution of the soil and the rock around here. All kinds of weird metals and stuff mixed into the soil.
The story that I had been told about this supposed obelisk was so strange. I just didn't really expect to find it so easily. But eventually, of course, I did. I found it facing out of the ground.
So we're now on the backside. That is the head area up there on top. And as the legend goes, well, before I get to that, you can see these hunks of limestone that have kind of just fallen here into random places. Pretty big chunks. And now we have this, according to an old folk tale, the settlers, for whatever reason, don't know if this is true or not, lobbed this supposed obelisk off the cliff, off of this cliff face. And there's another legend too, I'll get to that in here in a second, but they lobbed it off of here, and apparently it's supposed to be some type of obelisk. But it's, the stories I heard said that it was 6 feet long. This is clearly at least 7 feet going in, and it's going into the ground. So it looks like it doesn't go much further, but yeah, this thing is a hunk of limestone in a rectangular shape. I mean, there's also a story that the natives actually carved this out of the rock face and were going to bring it up here and put it into the mound however many generations ago. I don't know what the timeline is on that, but apparently they were going to take it up there and make it part of the monument. But of course they were unable to do that. This thing's got to weigh, I mean, how much would you say this thing weighs? At least a ton and a half. That's if it doesn't go too far into the ground here. But I'm going to see if I can get I'm going to use the RF meter, EMF meter, and they say that radioactive materials make their way into limestone all the time. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I was getting a pretty good reading there for a second. They say that limestone can be pretty magnetically charged. Look at that. Spikes. Ooh, yep. Dude, I'm getting some pretty big readings over here. So, we've got some they say that, oh, look at that. This thing is charged with something's giving off something, but they say that limestone, this could be naturally occurring because limestone can absorb radioactive materials underground over time. But yeah, I'm getting I'm gonna try to get a reading at the top here. Ooh, hot spot. Yeah, bingo. This spot. So we've got a spot right here towards the top or bottom of the structure. I don't know if it's upside down. I don't even know what this thing is, honestly. I mean, another spot right over here that was giving us a pretty big spike. I'm gonna try the top. Yeah, some baby spikes up at the top. Nothing really to write home about. Like I said, not even electronic devices will set this thing off. I mean, you'll get tiny little, it's basically the equivalent. Oh, yeah, that's that same hot spot. So yeah, it's this rectangular oblong shape.
A lot of people come to this site and they report feeling something in the air. You know, maybe even having a spiritual experience or a spiritual nudge. But to be honest, that was not my experience. I mean, it was a great, beautiful park with the hiking trail, and just the sight of it was just amazing. Pretty cool little, field trip to take, but the observation deck was closed for repair, so I didn't get to get any good shots of the overhead of the mound itself. And you can't, veer off path too crazily. They don't want you treading through where there aren't trails. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Check out some of my other work here. I'll link it here and in the description. But yeah, let me know. Am I just a crazy nut job, or did this site once hold, this powerful occultic architectural statue, of a receiver, an obelisk? I believe the ancient ones are usually made out of granite, like red granite, like the ones from Egypt. But sometimes the smaller ones, like the size of the one here at Serpent Mound, if it is in fact an obelisk, but those size were commonly made out of limestone. It wasn't uncommon to hear of the smaller obelisks, which, we could go on a tangent about what the theories about the actual purpose of these structures were, but it was always for drawing in energy in most theories, rather than just this decorative, architectural style of the time. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and I should have plenty more videos coming soon, so I'll see you all later.